President Biden takes action at the southern border, putting significant restrictions on those seeking asylum.
He says he's doing it to gain control because Republicans have left him no choice. WGN's Jenna Barnes joining us now with details on this story. Jenna.
Micah and Ray, this executive action from the president bars migrants from being granted asylum when the U.S. deems the border with Mexico is overwhelmed. The restrictions are set to take effect at midnight.
To protect America as a land that welcomes immigrants, we must first secure the border and secure it now.
President Joe Biden issuing an executive order to increase restrictions on migrants seeking asylum at the southern border, restrictions that begin almost immediately because the new policy is written to take effect when the number of illegal border crossings hits 2,500 per day. It's been at that threshold since Biden took office. The restrictions will stay in place until daily encounter numbers drop to an average of 1,500.
This ban will remain in place until the number of people trying to enter illegally is reduced to a level that our system can effectively manage.
The order allows the U.S. to remove migrants more quickly. Migrants who arrive at the border but don't express a fear of returning home are subject to being removed within a matter of hours and could be barred from re-entering for 5 years. Those who do express an intention to seek asylum will be screened at a higher bar.
Saying you got to do it the right way and follow the process. And I think that's what everyone wants. I think that's a bipartisan effort. People want that.
I think it's imperative that people stop politicizing immigration. It's not a right issue or a left issue. It is a humane issue.
The order receiving support from mayors of border towns, but the American Civil Liberties Union says it plans to sue to stop the policy because a ban on asylum is illegal.
It's window dressing. Everybody knows it. If he was concerned about the border, he would have done this a long time ago.
Republicans call the order an election stunt for Biden to tackle a political liability before November. Biden attempted to address the immigration crisis through legislation.
Republicans have left me no choice.
He and his supporters blame former President Donald Trump for blocking it.
There was a deal that was negotiated with Democrats, Republicans, and with the White House that fell apart at the last minute because the former president decided that he wanted to have this as a campaign issue. And that's incredibly unfortunate.
Now, this executive order doesn't apply to everyone attempting to cross the border. There are some exceptions, which include victims of human trafficking, unaccompanied minors, those with severe medical emergencies, or even those who make appointments at ports of entry. Ray and Micah.
And Jenna.